Total Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown Deuce ASAP. Come on, man.
Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Yeah, Detroit. Destination restoration. Yeah, it's our time. Can you feel the elevation? We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination. Together all the time together. It's us against the world, it don't get no better. We turned it around, that was the beginning. Coming for the crown, you know we winning. Time to put in the work, I'm about to go berserk. Taking our prisoners, it's my time. Yeah, I know that it hurts. Tearing back on the church, you don't wanna see me in my prime. The mission is to ring, we're caught in everything. In the city, supporting the dream. Vision new I never seen, we deserve to be king. It's all or nothing, no in between. The clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is been insane. The dog pound body's crippling. Now the clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is been insane. The dog pound body's crippling. Feel the elevation. We on a mission on vacation. Time to create the separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for the confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination.
What up, though? Welcome back to another episode of the Deuce and Boss Show. Hope you guys are having a great Thursday evening, boss. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. Well, actually, and I told the chat this earlier today, but I'm a little bit under the weather, but I'm so happy that Pistons basketball is back.
Man,
so
talk about it.
I loved seeing it. It started while I was at work, but I caught most of the first, missed a little bit of the second, caught the second half, and technically a loss, but these guys got me excited. I mean, all of them, just the young talent coming into the league everywhere has got me really excited. So
shout out to everybody who showed up for the live stream, the live watch, where everything King and y'all showed up and showed out as y'all always do, man. Boss, like you mentioned already, I've missed this. I've missed this. Even though it's summer league, it just feels good to be able to watch Pistons basketball again, especially with all the off-season stuff and the news and the rumors and the contracts and the numbers and the cap, and that's cool. But y'all know me. I love watching and dissecting the game more than anything. I think Boston on the same page. So it was just a fresh breath of air for me to be able to just watch the game and enjoy the game.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Sure. Chat, we see y'all in the chat, man. Everybody showing up. We appreciate y'all, man, for sure. Y'all know the drill. If you miss your comment, repost, caps lock, super chat, whatever you want to do to get our attention, go ahead and do that, and we will come to you. And boss, let's go ahead and launch this poll. So the poll we have is not a belt, because first of all, we didn't win, and second of all, it's summer league, so it doesn't really matter, right? But the poll, boss, for tonight is: will Ebuka be a rotational player next season? Will Ebuka be a bench depth player next season, or will Ebuka be in the G League next season? So I'm gonna let that ride for a minute. Obviously he was the best player on the floor for the Pistons, so that would have been an easy poll. Wasn't gonna do that. But I'd like to hear from you guys. I know it's just one game, summer league is early, but just your early thoughts from the early results as far as what you saw from him. Let us know what you think. And boss, let's go ahead and get to the nice game, man. So in case you guys missed it, the Pistons, they played the Philadelphia 76ers tonight in their summer league opener, and they fall short 93 to 101. And normally, like boss talked about it already, but we dissect the game, we get into the win and loss and all that stuff, but it's summer league. So the focus for us is just to try to get a look at some of these guys that we brought in, and how they can potentially fit with or help the Pistons as early as next season, potentially. Guys like Chaz Lanier, Ebuka Okorie, UGonna Onyenso, maybe some Roddy Gayle here and there, But
Mhm.
that's the game plan. And Isaac Jones as well. So, do you want to get to initial thoughts, or you want to go right to box scores? It's up to you. I'll leave it up to you because I don't really have too many initial thoughts. It's just a summer league game, but I'll leave it up to you.
I mean, I think one of my biggest takeaways, guys, is we kind of dug a hole early, but the Sixers did draft shooters. Firelon was a name that I saw and only recognized because of you guys in the chat and who you thought that would be a good target for the Pistons if we had kept ourselves at number 21. I think he was drafted 22nd, right?
Who was that?
I think he was Firelon.
I don't remember.
0-0 for the
I think he was
Sixers.
in the 20s, right?
Yeah, I think he was 22, and we had
Okay.
21, and we traded up for Okorie, but Firelon was
Right.
someone that you guys wanted.
Right.
And I thought he was a great shooter and everything, and Maddox, a couple of their guys. But you could definitely just see the different style of play already.
Mhm.
I think you could definitely tell that these guys are new to playing with each other, but nobody was just dribbling down the court and trying to get their own shot. We
Yeah.
moved the ball a lot more. It seemed more more like a system play than the Sixers did, but everybody has different goals in summer league, so it's not a dig at the Sixers. It's just I like that we didn't get down by 15 and then just give the ball to Lanier to shoot threes constantly to get back into it. We just played our style and kept bringing it closer. And they would just take off with it, but that's okay. So, but that's my initial thoughts is basically, to me, it seemed more like a system where you do just see some guys try to just reap the benefits of being in front of a stage at Summer League.
Facts. Definitely right. Definitely a clash of styles for sure. Even down to Summer League, you can see it's just different from a foundational standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Mama Dukes in the building. Look how pretty my mom is, y'all.
Beautiful.
Says Deuce nephews Kevin III and Caleb Keith who was named after me. You know what I'm saying, by your boy mom. Was half fun watching too. Shout out to my nephews, man. Kevin III and Caleb as well, man. Appreciate y'all. Everybody showing up, man, for sure. Jay Sherry says I was a little disappointed in Chaz. I thought he should have given more. Yeah, we're gonna get to these guys individually. I'm kind of with you, boss. Like the first half was very sloppy. Very sloppy.
Yeah.
Too many open shots. Rotations weren't crisp, but guys weren't staying in front. Guys weren't communicating. Second half, you saw guys, the defense really turned up. They were just, everybody sat down in that chair, and they really just brought the intensity and the effort. And it's funny because JB was actually in attendance. And we said about this team last year at halftime, he usually he'd get up into them and you see a change in play. And we saw it in the second half. So don't think that happened this time, but it was nice to see that, they did pick it up in the second half and made it a game. It wasn't a blowout game. It wasn't, out of reach by the end of the third quarter, nothing like that. So it was just nice to see these guys battle back, even though they didn't pull it out.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
What's up, Stella?
Absolutely. Stella agrees with you.
Go ahead. Do your thing.
I was just saying she agrees with you, says that she was glad to see him get more aggressive in the second half, which I think a lot of our team did, just kind of lock in a bit more. I think most people in chat understood he was trying to get his teammates involved early. He's very serious about basketball.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is their first game. And you can even tell, I think, by the way it ended, he didn't look happy. Like, no one's happy to lose.
Yeah.
But this game, like, he signed with us. Like, he doesn't personally have anything to lose except that he wants to have a good foot forward for the team and for the fans that watched. But he still looked disappointed in a loss. And that tells me that I think this is a little bit more, I don't know, it's a little bit the Detroit way, which I don't mind, is that they try things and then they learn from it almost immediately. So I wouldn't be surprised if the next game we see a lot more cohesiveness and him not only finding his shot like he did in the second, but making those judgment calls of when to get it away as well.
Yeah. That's all I got for my initial thoughts. Like I said, I don't have too much as far as the game or anything like that. I'm just looking at individual guys and how they played, and not even the stats, which we'll get into as well, but just how they looked on the court, their comfortability, the way they approached the game, right? And we'll get to that as well. So if you have no further thoughts on that, boss, we can get into some box scores. I only have a few guys too, 4 or 5 guys, unless you got some other guys. So we can get into those guys. Let's get into Ebuka Okorie first. We'll start with him, boss. Tonight, guys, Ebuka Okorie finished with 20 points on 8 for 16 shooting overall, 2 of 4 from 3, 1 of 1 from the line, 1 board, 4 assists, and 1 turnover, which is great for me. Y'all know I love that. And 2 steals in 30 minutes. So, boss, take off on what you saw from our new addition through the draft, number 17, Ebuka Okorie. What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I like the way he plays. You can definitely tell. I would say that despite, guys like Isaac Jones and Chaz who have already been with us, and we've seen, and Bryce Williams, and all 3 of them did look comfortable on the court tonight, but like Okorie just looked like he fit right in. So that's huge because that just tells me that he can be be thrown in and feel pretty comfortable.
Mhm.
I'm just looking at how many, did you mention turnovers? He had 1. Okay.
Yeah.
I think he would have had more assists too if some guys' shots were falling.
Mhm.
But something I really liked about him in the first, there was 2 defenders coming to like double him, and he just ran through them. He just ran through them at the perimeter and just explosive to the basket. It reminded me, guys, of Jaden Ivey and the type of player that he is and who we want to partner next to Cade or with Cade. It's just that explosiveness and finding your shot. And I want to say the 3 words I would use to describe him after this, well, 2 words and 1 more description, is just he was explosive, he was composed, and then also you didn't notice that he was 6'1" out there. There was he was getting all types of shots, threes, he was getting layups. He didn't look like his height was affecting him at all. And obviously he knows how to play with his height. It's the only way he knows how to play. But for everybody else, it's kind of like, why would we get such a small guard? It just didn't seem noticeable out there. It truly didn't. And so that was just huge as well. He also hit our first 3 of the game in the first, then opened the half with the 3. The second half is kind of when he started to get going.
Yep.
Because then he got that steal. It led to a layup. Had another breakaway layup off of a Jones loose ball. So I just noticed that he gets really just behind the defense very quickly on those types of possessions. And then at the end of the fourth, he just kept us in it with scoring. I told Deuce before this, you can tell that he's kind of used to taking over the game. You recommend a game, right, that he kind of took over in the fourth and they were able to come back and win.
Yep.
And I just kept hearing just like a Okorie down the lane is all I kept hearing.
Right.
But that's like what you want to hear from a guy who you're just like, we need a shooter and we need a ball handler, but we need someone who create his own shot to take that off of Cade. And so if you're hearing a Okorie down the lane, it's a Okorie driving the ball himself down the lane. So I did like what I saw from him. But at the same time, I just felt like it was also like, oh, there's definitely more to this guy. Like I didn't feel like he left it all out there, and not in like a bad way, just more like there's more. I the way that he was playing, I was like, oh, he knows that there's more too. It's just getting, I think, comfortable with people and having that cohesiveness and learning his teammates better, which I think they'll do by game 4 of Summer League. So
exactly. That's where I'm at too. It's Summer League. I understand it's Summer League. I understand a lot of things can be overblown in Summer League and things like that, right? But I've been watching Summer League long enough to be able to dissect and kind of weed out what I'm looking at and what I'm looking for. Yeah. And I've already seen enough, guys, from Ebuka Okorie. Somebody in the chat said this, and I may have to steal it and get a patent on it. I'll pay you for it. Buka Magic is what I might start calling him. Shout out to whoever that was in the chat. If you want to shout yourself out as well for whoever said that, go ahead and do that. But yeah, boss, like he was easily the best player on the court. Easily. It wasn't even close. Like Filine is nice. Filine Harper says he's cool. He's nice. But he's no way better than Ebuka Okorie. First half was just too chill for me though. Yeah. First half was way too chill. And it's funny because some fans were in the chat like he's in the first few minutes of the game. It was fans saying he's a bust.
My God, you guys, stop.
Come on, y'all. Come on, man. Like 2.5 minutes into the game, just because he had to score 10 points. Everybody saying, not everybody, but some were like, he's a bust. We should have got somebody else, Cameron Carr, whoever, Isaiah Evans. Guys,
people that go on like one date and like after 20 minutes are like, never mind. And then why am I lonely? It's like, well,
I feel bad for their blood pressure because it's just like this. Seriously. But I was saying, like I could see that he was just first half just trying to get everybody else involved. Kind of just going through the motions a little bit. Like, let me just break a sweat, get a feel for the game, for the speed of the game and whatever. And he was just kind of too chill for me in that first half. Though I understood what he was doing, trying to, be a good point guard and not be selfish and get everybody else involved. But I just kept telling everybody, just wait. He's going to flip the switch. Like, you can see that he's actively not trying to do too much right now. He wasn't putting pressure on the rim. He wasn't attacking. You could just see he wasn't really into it. Right. But like I said, and like King said as well, second half, he turned it up. First play, the second half, 3-ball. After that, he got a quick steal, inbound steal, and then he bullied his way to the rim for what should have been an and-1 and flexed on the defender. Right. He didn't look like he's 6'1". The way he's bullying guys and just pushing guys out of the way. He's stronger than he seems. Yeah. He doesn't seem like he's 6'1". He looks more like 6'2" and a half, 6'3".
The defense looks confused on what to do.
Yes.
Because he is still that height. He's a little bit like, and I think Jalen Brunson, I give him flack for his head whipping, but he ends up on the floor because of his size, and that's not his fault. And I think that's kind of what scares people about Ebuka is like, well, if I go at it too hard, he's gonna fly away.
Right.
I'm a foot taller than him. Some of these guys he's attacking.
Right.
So
Exactly. And so, like, for me, I was, like you said, Ebuka in the lane. Like, he was just getting, when he put his mind to it, when he decided to, he got wherever he wanted, when he wanted, and was doing whatever he wanted with the basketball. Just getting to the rim routinely and finishing. And you could even tell by his body language. It was just like ho hum. He hit a three. Yeah. All right, cool.
That's what I'm saying.
Rim that layup. All right. Like, it looks like he knows he's better than everybody else on the court. The way he was playing when he turned it on.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, humble, because you can tell he wants to do better. There was one sequence, because guys, he shot 50%. If this sequence didn't happen, his efficiency numbers would be way better. And then it was, he went up for a layup, it danced around, tough layup, danced around. We got the ball back, kicked it out to him to a corner three. He missed that. We got the ball back again, kicked him out. And again, you want your shooters to shoot. Nobody else on the court, like either side. Phylon's not giving that up. Maddox isn't giving it up. And he shot and he did miss. So that's 3 misses right there.
Right.
But that was one sequence. So take away that 8 of 13. That's much better efficiency overall minus one sequence. And I'm not trying to say that you can't include that. I'm just saying it wasn't like that. That was a big chunk of those 3 misses in a row was a big chunk of his overall game. And that happened in the span of 15 seconds. So, and I don't know if you have more to say, but I also just want to say that Phylon started off very hot.
Yep.
Both Phylon and Maddox. And then when we picked it up, they lost their groove. They had to bring in their bench guy who has basically a Hitler mustache, and I'm questioning
You saw that too?
I'm like, bro, Isaac, you look like your name is Isaac Johnson. But like, I'm like, and then he did the Jalen Selly 3 at Onyenso, and I'm just like, that looks like a gas mask. Just kidding. Like, I don't know, but he came in and he popped off for them, which was, lucky that they had him, but not their 2 other guys who did pop off in the first. When the Pistons started getting hot, I mean, Phylon went cold, Maddox went cold. Okorie scored more than Phylon. Isaac Jones scored more than Phylon. 2 of our starters scored more than all of their starters minus Maddox, who scored 21. Okay. So, yeah.
Okay. I like it. Yeah, good stuff there. As far, I got a little bit more on him.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, so y'all know when it comes to my point guard, I always talk about the assist turnover ratio, right? And 4-1, I always say 2-1 is good, 3-1 is really good, and 4-1 and above is great. He have 4 assists and 1 turnover today. Right. And exactly. So always. But I just like how he takes care of the ball. That was one of the things. We were one of the worst teams last year when it came to turnovers. As far as how just careless turnovers and just giving the ball away, we were one of the worst teams. We just didn't have anybody outside of Cade who could create on a consistent basis. So they load up and he turn it over and he get blamed for it, right? So with a guy like him, just having him on the court, that's hilarious. Fun's anarchy. Yeah, just having a guy like him on the court is going to make everything so much easier for both he and Cade, because Cade being on the court is going to make it easier for him too. Because both of those guys are used to having 10 defensive eyes on them.
Oh, yeah.
At all times. We saw at Stanford with Ebuka. You saw it for the duration of Cade's career since he's been here. He's always had the attention solely focused on him for the most part at the point of attack, right? Yeah. So having him on the squad is going to help both of them for sure. Okorie's not going to be the best player on the court most of the time when he's playing because he's going to have Cade in the court with him. And the way he moves the ball, he's looking to score, but he gets into the paint. He's got good vision. He had a nice swing pass. I think that's what Solo was talking about. Nice swing pass, on time, on target. Should have been another assist. It was an open 3-pointer. Didn't fall. But he's showing that he can attack, he can score, but he can also facilitate and make the right play. And that's important too for a guy who's going to be on the court with Cade at times. Last thing, defense. Defensively, he's a smart player. I was watching how he was rotating. I was watching how he was switching, how he was keeping, his eyes on the ball and his man. He wasn't getting caught on back doors. He was ready when the cut came. He was ready. He had his arm out just in case. So he understands how to play defense. And even if his guy would get a step on him, once the helper came, he was making he was switching. He was immediately making the switch. Yeah. So he just knows how to play. He knows how to switch and rotate. He just understands how to play the game. Last thing you hit on, the competitive nature. Like seeing him getting up into guys and flexing on guys after he scored, and even in the meaningless summer league game, he's dropping his head when the game is over because he's annoyed. Yeah, I love it.
Yes.
Like somebody said it, he's serious about basketball and he wants to win. He's a competitive guy. So I have seen enough from him. As far as from one game, I've seen enough to know that this guy is going to be a good NBA player.
Yes.
I can already see it. He just jumped off the page for sure. So looking forward to seeing more of him in the future games, but I was really impressed with the early returns, boss.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly how I feel. And like you mentioned it with Cade too, I think he'll just be a really good distraction. And whether he's on the court with Cade or not, you just can't let up. If he is Cade's backup, if he's next to Cade, defenses just won't be able to let up no matter who's on the court. And I do think one more thing is just that some of the criticism that I just saw about him before really watching him was that he struggled moving off ball. And I did not see that today. I thought he did a great job with that. So
I agree. Timothy says, Okorie looks better than Jenkins. Already? Really? Dennis about to lose some minutes. I wish I could be a fly in the wall for some of those. We might have to talk to Eric or Eve a little bit because I would love to see if he can get some information about some of those practices. I can see those guys going at each other in practice. You got two dogs who are competitive at the highest level at that position. That'd be fun to watch. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out for sure. Yeah. Mr. Ray says that's expected early in his career. His handle shiftiness plus future added weight is going to get him wherever he wants on the court. Yep. He's already kind of bullying guy. We saw it already. His shooting.
I think he's talking about Phylon there.
Is that Phylon? Okay.
There's just a little. We're just talking about Phylon and because Mr. Ray has respect for him, and like I said, he's a great player. But like we said, they also just were talked about how he did kind of let up once defense pressure was there and after he cooled down a bit. So which just happens to 3-point shooters. You know, we've seen it with any of ours, Duncan, Malik, just sometimes at a halftime, it might be the defensive pressure, or it might just be that you cooled off and lost your rhythm. So
could be for sure. Okay, that's all I got for him. Guys, let's go ahead and keep it pushing, boss. Let's go to UGonna Onyenso. Onyenso, guys. Tonight he finished with only 2 points. 1 for 3 from the field. He had 3 boards, no assists, no turnovers, 3 steals, and a block in 20 minutes. Take off on what you saw from UGonna in this game.
Yeah, so he started off pretty well. His 2-point basket was a really hard one. It was a lob that was short. He was behind it. And he was, despite his momentum carrying him under the basket, he was able to take his hand and tip it in and get that score. So it just shows to me, you know, some good precision, some good, you know, just not giving up on the play sort of stuff. Coming out on the perimeter, when he came out on the perimeter, some guys just got right past him. So that's just something I think to be aware of. And it seemed like as the game went on, he looked a little bit more sloppy. But again, like he looked like he was playing in his first summer league game. And again, started off pretty strong. And I think it is just a little bit more of the, again, cohesiveness and figuring stuff out, what to do, where to go, not wanting to make the wrong decision. But he did have 3 steals, which led the team, and a block. I wonder if it actually led the game in steals in a short amount of time. 1 of 3, for only 1 basket is tough, but only had 3 opportunities
3 shots
as well. So that's just something else he only had 1 foul, which is huge for a big guy like that. And so he did, you know, make some guys have to get the ball out of their hands. It wasn't in any way super impressive, but I am still very much excited about him. And the box score obviously doesn't reflect his impact out there, but it is cool to see a guy just so big out there. And I do think that he is going to. I think that he will stay. Because I know your poll's about Okorie, but I think he will stay a 2-way. I think he will stay a 2-way, and I think he will benefit from it. But I think that he has nowhere but up to go from here, and this wasn't even like a bad game per se. So.
Right. Yeah. To get some quick comments, Solo says, how many minutes did he play? He played 20 minutes in this game. And D-Walk says, does he move around the court? Yeah, he does. He's pretty athletic and mobile for his size, being able to move his feet and stuff like that. You can still see it looked like he was a fish out of water in this game. He just did not look like he was comfortable, and he was just kind of just like, I'm out here, I'm gonna do my best. You know, it didn't seem like he had a lot of familiarity with his teammates. He just looked like he was just giving effort. But that's one thing about him. He's got a high motor at all times. He's always going to give the effort. He's always going to go full tilt 100% of the time, which is a great thing. And that's something that can be contagious, you know, when it comes to practice and stuff like that.
just real quick, I think it's just kind of the opposite. And this isn't a bad thing. This is just how some guys are. But like how I just said, like Okorie just kind of fit right in. He looked comfortable immediately. And UGonna's probably just going to need a little bit more time with his teammates. And that's when he'll thrive. Sometimes you just need to understand your role a little bit better. And then once you get it down, you got it. And so, and again, everyone is a little bit different. There's not a lot of players you could just plug into a game and expect them to know what's up. So, that's kind of where it was.
He did some good things. Like he altered a 3-point shot. He blocked the 3-point shot. And he actually altered a ton more, if we're being real. You saw the difference when he was in the game versus when he wasn't. It was like red light, green light. Green light, as soon as he sat down. Green light. Green light, yeah, exactly, King. 3 steals and being hard to score over. Make sure y'all go follow King for sure. He probably already got his video out. But yeah, we watched his game live, and that was something we saw. 3 steals that led the team for sure. It's a great thing. Just the energy. But yeah, we talked about too, like how Isaiah Stewart used to just deter guys from going in the lane or taking a shot because they could see him in their rear view coming. You saw a lot of that with him already. Yeah. So it didn't show up in the stat sheet, but just his presence on the court. They knew if they came into the paint, it was going to be tough sledding as far as getting a shot off and something like that. Right. And exactly. Play for JV will help him improve for sure. I agree. Yeah, and he's got to get stronger. You got to get in the weight room. I was telling King, he got to get in the gym like MJ after getting beat by the Pistons over and over again. He got to get stronger. It was a few times he would get bumped off a spot. One time he just kind of got knocked over. He lost his footing and kind of just fell over. At first I was like, offensive, nah, he's got to get stronger. Yeah. He's got to get stronger. So he's got to get stronger. On the ground a lot. What's that?
He was on the ground a lot. I agree with you.
He was. I mean, I won't say he got postered. It was a help side dunk late. It looked bad because he tried to come over Isaac Jones, let his guy get by him on the switch. So I ain't gonna hold that against him. He came over late, whatever. But one thing I will say, you gotta stop fouling on threes. Y'all know regardless of who it is. Like last couple years, y'all know whenever a Pistons player fouls on the 3, I'm calling it out.
That's actually his only foul of the game. Twice. No, that was his only foul of the game.
Oh, really? It was only one? I thought he did it twice.
Isaac Jones was the other one.
Jones got so I'll save that for him. My bad. So he got one and Jones got one. So, but that was the only other thing. But once again, I like the energy, I like the effort, but he's very raw right now, and I'll probably agree with you right now that he's probably going to be going to the G League at least to start, and we'll go from there. Somebody asked in the chat, and we have our answer, I think. But between UGonna and Tolu, who would you want to have as your 4th big?
Oh, Tolu.
Yeah, I agree.
He's our 3rd big right now, though.
If you count John Collins, I count forwards as bigs.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
we've had this conversation before. Bigs for me are just centers, but we don't really have a lot of I'm not going to call Tobias Harris a big. Like we haven't had big 4s, so our bigs to me are our 5s.
Do you think Collins is a big?
No,
you don't. He's a power forward.
Cool. Okay. I don't think Aaron Gordon is a big either.
Oh, with Denver? Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, so Tolu will be our 3rd center, 2nd center, something, whatever. But yeah, I think it's Tolu too. I think Tolu, he's just more polished, he's more experienced, and he's stronger, right? And he knows his role. So yeah, I think that conversation will get put to bed pretty soon. King said neither, of course.
I'm sorry.
We'll get to Roddy Gayle in a minute. But you do your thing, boss, on that. That's all I got for UGonna. Like it's first game, very raw. I think he is going to make a lot of strides this year, but it's just like you see he's got a ways to go both mentally and physically as far as being able to be a rotational player for this team.
Yeah. So. And he can get it. Again, guys, like this isn't, there's overreaction. Like there is so many guys that people thought would thrive in the NBA from summer league. There's so many people that were in summer league that haven't got their chance that I think will be really good. There's guys that went under the radar in summer league and are now, or in G League too, they're now great. Like, Caruso, Duncan, things like that. So it's just more about what you see right now. And then what I just like with our actual team during the season, what I always want to see is those things look better the next game.
Yep. Yep, I agree. And PD said it bigger 6'10" and up, so that would favor your argument. So I'll let you have that one. Okay. Ebuka isn't elite quicks. Good, he's good, but nothing freak spell. Okay, we'll see. I think he is. I don't think he didn't show everything today that he has. I don't think at all. We might have saw about 50% of what he actually can do, 60%, something like that. So we'll see. All right, boss, let's keep pushing, man. Let's go now to Swaggy Chaz Lanier. In this game, guys, he finished with 12 points, on 4 for 11 shooting, 1 of 6 from 3. Yikes, that's not good at all. 2 of 2 from the line, 3 boards, 1 assist, and 1 block for him in 32 minutes to lead the team in minutes. Boss, what did you see from Chaz in this game?
Yeah. I was just a little bit disappointed because I've been so excited to watch Chaz. It feels like he last year popped off in the G League. Even, Stan Van Gundy, the announcers were talking about how great his 3-point shooting was then and there. He was just someone I was excited to see because, you're kind of, in terms of summer league, you're a vet on this team for these young guys. So I was hoping to see a little bit more. He got his shots up. Like, I think I would have been more mad if, he had the 33% like UGonna, but he also was 1 of 3. Like, he was 4 of 11. He was missing threes, but he had some nice floaters. He scored our first basket of the game. It was a floater in the lane. And him and Okorie seem to have really good chemistry. They find each other really well.
I agree. I agree.
So that's a positive that I think we'll see more of as it goes on. And I think, again, like if he had drained some of those threes, a lot of those assists would have come from Okorie, and then his assist number would have been up too. Yep. He forced a turnover in the fourth as well. Or no, sorry, a forced turnover led to 3 from him to start the fourth. So, and that was his only one. So he kind of just, I think maybe just didn't get hot till later, and then it was got kind of out of time. But I'm not worried at all. I liked seeing him bring the ball up. He grabbed quite a few tougher boards. He had a block. No fouls either for being out there the most. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that could just mean great defense. Sometimes that can mean lack of aggression. But I definitely think he was trying to get into his rhythm and just didn't find it today. Hopefully this score or this efficiency at least is his worst of the summer league. Like hopefully he just, but he also like he's playing with guys that he's played with before, like Bryce Williams and Isaac Jones. But again, this is also just a new lineup for him as well and where he fits in. So
yeah, he looked good. I don't know. With Chaz, he did some good things. I think defensively he was solid. He did some good things defensively. Moved his feet well. Played physical. Offensively, he had some looks. It just didn't fall. You mentioned the floater. Him putting the ball on the floor because he's known, at least from what we've seen, primarily be a catch and shoot guy. Right? Running off screens, a lot like how Duncan Robinson does, for example. Running off screens, getting open, finding the spot, using the screen, and letting it fly. But he did a good job putting the ball on the floor when they would close out. Some of the things we saw here and there from Duncan last year. Like, okay, that's nice play, nice secondary creation play. We saw some of that from Chaz in this game, and that was nice to see that. The floater looked nice. But here's the thing for me, boss, when it comes to Chaz. He's going to have to be more consistent shooting the ball very soon. Very soon. Okay. Because he's a shooter. And there wasn't really, I know he hasn't played a lot. But there hasn't really been a stretch of games, like even like 2 or 3 games where he's gone like 3 for 4, 3 for 5, just showing us like he can really get to it. We know he can because we saw him do it in college, but we haven't seen a stretch of more than a game maybe of where he's consistently been able to just knock it down. And I was hoping coming into this first game, he'd be able to get off to a good start and be able to ride some of that momentum. Because he can shoot the ball, but it's like, bro, you got it. You can't have too many stretches where you're just inconsistent. You know what I mean? Right. So it's like Chaz Lanier or Gary Harris. Yeah. So and I'm glad he said that. It's early, but the thing with me is that last year with Chaz, right? We talked about boss often. We talk about how it's going to be hard for him to get time, last year because there was just so many guards who were ahead of him, or a lot of wings who were ahead of him. But here's the thing: a lot of those wings, or some of those wings, couldn't shoot,
right?
And they were still ahead of him. So now we have a lot more shooting at that position.
Yeah.
So it's going to become even harder for him now to carve out a role, especially if he has games like this. This is summer league, but if he can't get into a rhythm and be able to ride that, hopefully into the regular season, I don't see it's going to be hard for him to get an opportunity when there's so many guys who have more experience, who one of them is a champion, the other one is been in the finals twice. It's like, what advantage is he giving himself to be able to carve out a role if he's not knocking down shots, considering the guys we have now? You know what I mean? So I'm a little concerned for him for that reason.
Absolutely. And before we brought in Herder and stuff, everyone was kind of hoping that we could find a place for Chaz, but he just wasn't able to get himself there or elevate that. So, but I do agree, but I'm just not willing. I think, of course, you want to see him come out and dominate. I'm just not. I'll come to those conclusions after summer league. Like I truly hope that this is the worst, game he had, a little bit slow, just understanding, getting there, because as the G League season progressed, he was much better. He might just be one of those guys that also kind of needs that consistency, which sucks a little bit when leagues need you and teams need you, and you gotta. But I agree with you that you do need to, get out, and he needs to get out there and show what he can do, what we drafted him for. Yeah. I can see him staying as a two-way player for us.
Yeah, I think he will be.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just as far as his ambition to want to get in the court or to carve out a role, right? We'll see how it works out, but with the shooting we've added, it's just got a little bit harder for him. So if he's going to give himself a chance, you got to get into a rhythm and show that he can knock down that shot consistently. So we'll see. But it's good to have options. So hopefully he can have a bounce back game. Next game, he did. I'm going to give him some credit. Fourth quarter, he caught a rhythm, right? He caught a nice rhythm in the fourth quarter. Hit a 3-ball, hit a nice midi. And when I saw him hit the midi, it's like, okay, he's getting into a rhythm. He's not
That's
just
what he did today.
Right.
That's where his scoring came from. If he was 1 of 6 from 3, that means that the other 9 points came from everything else. And that's nice to see, at least, because I would say that he was just a catch and shoot guy for us last summer league.
Yes.
This summer league, we saw him doing more. Now we need him to do what we drafted him to do, but we also saw him doing more, which is moving off ball well, bringing the ball up the court, getting the floaters. He got a block, so we did see him. I will give him that. He definitely has expanded his game into the way he wants to play. But let's get back to that efficiency of shooting, which I absolutely think he will. So you don't take 6 shots if you know that you're off, like you take 6 threes because you're looking to get hot and you can make them. And there weren't really any air balls, anything way off with these guys today, I would say. So yeah, I
agree. Y'all play nice in the chat. We see y'all, man. Come on now.
Man, come on, man.
Moonlight and Jamote. Jamote been here for a minute, but yeah, y'all get along, man. Come on. Let's keep pushing, boss. Let's go now to Isaac Jones. Who? Isaac Jones. Tonight, guys, in this game, Isaac Jones was the leading scorer for the Pistons. He was the leading scorer for the game. It was Isaac Jones. 22 points, 9 for 15 shooting overall, 2 of 4 from 3, 1 of 1 from the line, 4 boards, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, no steals, and 2 blocks in 30 minutes. What did you see from Isaac Jones, boss? What stood out?
So with Isaac Jones, he's listed as a forward center, and I've always in my mind had him as a 5. So he did start this game as a 4 with UGonna in the 5 spot, and he did great. He was someone I really didn't think was going to be, because we brought him in last season, and he didn't get really any time. Even though he did have G League games, he was always on our bench, it felt like, just in street clothes. So it's like, but he never got an opportunity out there, which just made me think like, okay, like we got him for cheap. Now he's going to be the one that's waived for sure. But he did fantastic, and I think he could really make a mark. The only thing I will say is that he had 5 fouls, and I think in summer league you get up to 10. Yes.
Yeah, you can have 10. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but he had the most on both sides, I believe. And so when you're playing that well, you can't be getting into foul trouble. And that's just something so small and insignificant, but just something I noticed of like when you're our lead scorer, you can't get into foul trouble. Just like when we're relying on transition defense in regular season and a star gets into foul trouble or Ron gets into foul trouble, you're like, hey guys, like you've been helping keep them off the boards and helping us get baskets. Like we need you to chill. That's kind of where I'm at. But anyways, I had lots of notes on him. In the first, he had a great post-up turnaround bucket, very Tobias Harris-esque. And then a drive and dunk. He was in the corner and he just drove it himself to dunk it. In the third, he had the block on Phylon. He forced a turnover on an inbound and then got the ball back and drove to the basket for 2. In the fourth, he had a 3 to tie the game. Then he had a 2 to tie the game again. Tough turnaround layup, dunk late in the game. Like he was just really out there playing forcefully. But he was one of the guys who, and I'll let you talk about this a little bit more, who fouled on a 3. And at first, I really thought that their guy kicked out. But Isaac hopped forward like 5 freaking feet.
Yeah, can't do
and
that,
so
bro.
very, very, very sloppy closeout. Because I think UGonna's was a little bit more forgivable because he was just in there. But like
You're
Isaac,
right.
like you can't be running at him full force. You're huge, my guy. So I think the way he's playing, he's making a good campaign for being maybe that backup at the 4 that we need, because we don't really have a backup 4. Because again, I despite how it could be, I do think that B-Ball and Tolu will remain 5s behind Duren. So if Jones is behind Collins, I'm not mad at it. But I would like to see what else he can do. He just did. He played the way that like a summer league vet should play for these guys. He really set a tone and did a very good job there. And I just noticed a lot of physicality. But again, it's just more hopefully. I mean, again, with the fouls, it just shows aggressiveness, and maybe he knows he can get 10, so it doesn't matter. But you definitely don't want.
You don't want to develop that habit because that'll get you out of a game real quick in the league.
Absolutely,
sure. Even off the bench. But good points. I agree. For me, it was a tale of two halves for him. A lot like how it was for Ebuka. But for him, it wasn't like it was turn it off, turn it on, turn it off. It was more so like he just locked in and started playing better. Because he struggled mightily in that first half. He just looked completely out of sync. He was trying to do way too much. I called him Jalen Duren because he tried to board and push on one play, and and he turned it over. I'm like, bro, come on, man. Come on, JD. We don't need that right now. Find your point guard. I'm consistent, y'all. I don't like big men pushing the ball unless it's like a Jokic or something like that, right? So just, find your point guard. But yeah, first half he was late on rotations. That poster that UGonna got was because he had to slide over late because Jones got back to his guy late. He didn't come over in time. And the 3-pointer fouls, I hate those. Like you mentioned, you can't do that. Second half was way better. Much better in the second half. And the first half, I was like, man, pull him. He ain't got it tonight. Second half, and it's funny, boss. Every time I would say something, he would do something.
Yeah.
Like, man, sit him down. He go in and dunk. Man, sit him down. But he hit a 3. So it was like, eventually I was like, man, you ain't doing nothing this game. Hoping
he senses it too.
Yeah. So I just started talking negative the rest of the game, hoping it would give good dividend. But anyway, second half was way better. Knocked down the 3 ball. Protected the rim much better in the second half. Being able to just alter shots, swat shots, going up vertical outside of that, fouling that 3. In the paint, I thought he did a good job protecting the paint. He got some things going offensively in the post. And I'll say this, he is deceptively athletic. Like, he had a nice double pump dunk in the second half. And it's funny because with him, it's like, it's weird. It looks like when he's moving, like when he's shifting his feet or when he's running, it looks like he's moving in slow motion. But then when you see him get up off the floor, you can see he's got bunnies. It's like, where'd that come from? He just looks like he's playing really slow, like really low to the ground, under the rim player. And then you see him jumping. It's like, oh, okay. So that's just more speed and not verticality that you don't really have. Okay, cool. So I was glad to see that for sure. You mentioned the backup 4. I don't know if I'm comfortable with Isaac Jones as my backup 4 consistently for the entire year.
I didn't say I was.
I didn't say you were either.
Right now,
I just don't, because some of the people because some fans in the chat asked the same question. I don't know. I gotta see more. I'm not saying he can't.
Agreed.
Because he kind of is a stretch forward that can get it done in the paint too. I don't know. I gotta see more. If he can consistently do the things we talk about on a regular basis and knock down shots, things like that, all right, maybe. We don't really have one. I'm not trying to go with Torian Prince and Raul Holland as my backup 4. So it's a bigger body. I just gotta see more. What do you think on that?
No, I agree. That's just how I am with this entire summer league. It's like, what a fantastic show out. I think he took the game very seriously. He looked good in there. He was more like Ebuka, who they were able to plug and play easy. But who knows what next game will look like or the game after that or what adjustments they're going to make. And I do think, like you said, too, the defense, the fouls is a little concerning. But I think he has a good shot at it. I think that what he has to do is just continue to play. And they kept showing JB Bickerstaff after certain things, and you can tell that Bickerstaff likes what he's doing. They mentioned that the way he's playing is very Detroit-like, which is very gritty and strong and powerful. But there's a couple guys on this team, these big guys, that I'm a little bit like, I don't know you quite yet. Like, I really like Jihad. I really liked him. I could see him being, a backup in certain scenarios. So I think it's just going to come down to just the right fit. But he's definitely, again, he started off on a great foot for that spot. And we'll just see what happens the next few games. And then also, what are the moves we make this offseason? Who knows who's coming in? So
true. Exactly. It's still really early. Really early. He's got a better opportunity than Clint. Y'all know I swung and missed on that one. I had a feeling somebody was going to bring him up. And listen, I caught myself out. I thought He was going to be the backup for last year. He wasn't. So we'll see. Go ahead. Maybe he will because I don't think he will. Go ahead.
Right. Pistons Jack thought the same as well. A lot of us did. I did too. To an extent, I didn't think he was going to be right away, but I saw him growing into that. But I do think, again, you can already see, despite I like the way Klintman plays, but it was just completely different from Jones and also just Detroit style of play. Like people say, people have gotten mad at me when I'm just like, he doesn't fit Detroit style. Like, well, he can learn it. He can do this. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, well, I disagree. I think when you learn I think that some people can adjust their game to an aspect. Duncan Robinson came in and definitely has the grit and the, there is something that Detroit has to give people, but there is a certain style of play that would not mesh here.
Yeah, for sure. Like taking 1,000 threes every opportunity you get, like how the Philly did. But we won't see us doing that. Like even with improved shooting, we're not going to be doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Yeah, like if he continues to show some consistency in some of the areas we need, he can rebound the ball well. He can, be something of a rim protector in the paint and just being that presence and. He doesn't make a lot of bonehead mistakes consistently. If he can do those things, yeah, why not? I wouldn't mind giving him a shot to see if he can do it. It's just one game, right? So I think these guys are going to get better as they get more comfortable from game to game. So we'll wait and see. But I thought he was pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. He started off really, really bad, and I was like, please take him out. But he had a great second half. He had a really good second half. So he deserves credit for how he played in the second half for sure.
Agreed. That.
Yeah. Okay. That's all I got on that. Let's keep it pushing, guys. And let's go now to Roddy Gayle was the last guy I had. Don't have a ton of notes on him, but a lot of fans. Okay. I saw a lot on Pistons Twitter talking about Roddy Gayle. Watch out for Roddy Gayle. So we're talking about him briefly. Boss, he finished this game with, what did he finish with? Where's Roddy? Rodriguez is his full name. Rodriguez Gayle. Finished with 10 points on 4-4 shooting, 2-2 from 3, 2 boards, and a block. In 12 minutes. That's impressive. That's impressive. Thoughts on Roddy Gayle, boss? What'd you see?
Yeah, I really liked him. And we'll talk about him, but then I have a couple other guys that I want to just shout out. But Roddy, he really impressed me. He's someone that we signed. He's a Michigan guy, right?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he's a Michigan guy.
Wasn't aware. Okay.
And I believe that he was signed after the draft for this. He was fun. He had a corner three right after checking in the first. He started the second quarter with a 3 as well. And the third, he had a huge offensive board and just really tough putback.
Yeah.
The efficiency too. Like he was 10 points, but 4 of 4.
Right.
So 2 of those were threes. Yeah, 2 threes and the other thing. So that's beautiful. And he only played 12 minutes. Okay, Michigan guy. Okay. Yep. He only played 12 minutes, under 12 minutes and did that. And I hope that he's earned more time. Like the way he played was an example of someone who's taking advantage of his summer league minutes to get noticed, but without taking away from the team because he has rebounds. He doesn't have any assists, but he had a block. He played defense. He was moving without the ball. Like he wasn't just like a guy who comes in and shoots a bunch of threes to try to be like, oh, get me, pick me up. I really liked what he did and the way he played in his style. What position is he? Do you know?
Gayle, I think he's just like a guard, like a wing.
Man. Can one of y'all grow 2 inches, bulk up,
like
and
4
be
or 5 inches and be a backup forward,
please? Yeah. Even a 3 I'll take at this point. But yeah, I really liked what I saw from him, and it makes me excited. There's a David Roddy on the Nuggets who played for CU. So I was like, oh, the Roddies are both hometown boys. So, but I was thinking, I was like, I like that name a lot. But yeah, let's see. He's, sorry, I just want to double check what he is real quick. But yeah, excited for him. Yeah, shooting guard.
Yeah, 2-3, Mr.
6'5", 210. Okay, so you could be a 3.
Maybe, depending.
You could be a small forward at 210, 6'5". I would do it.
But Kevin says Roddy was balling, play hard, play. That's what I noticed. Like the efficient. I didn't realize he shot 4 for 4. That's really good. That's very efficient. But I just noticed how hard he played, how much he battles, how physical he was. He was in the trees, grabbing boards, scoring. And that was what I like to see. Okorie looks impressive for his first game. He's got them effortlessly. Right, future ahead for sure. I like Gayle too. I forgot he played for Michigan last year. I forgot he transferred from Ohio State. That's why I wasn't familiar with him.
I only knew because I just see these names and I kind of remember where they're from. Like it helps me because I couldn't name. I know the 3 guys who were drafted in Gayle.
Yeah, I like what I saw. I want to see more.
Yes.
Going forward. But I thought it was solid. That's all I
Yes.
got, boss. Anybody else that stood
Okay.
out to you in this game? Anything else?
Yeah,
that stood out to you in
guys.
this game?
And maybe you guys will agree with me here. Just a name that I didn't have any, I didn't know anything about him, and he really made an impression on me was Basheer Jihad, who's actually a Detroit native.
Yeah, I did know that.
He was just bodying guys. Like, he reminded me a little bit with how he drives of Tolu. Like, just like, I don't care if you're in my way, I'm getting to the basket. But he has a little bit, I think, of a slightly better touch and finish than Tolu in terms of he would just use his whole body and then get the basket in nicely.
Okay.
Yeah, fighting for guys, fighting for buckets from the start. He had a great defense on the other end. He got a bucket, went on the other end, forced the ball out of, I want to say Phylons, but it was just another guy. He got all the way to the paint, like halfway down the paint. Yeah. And Jihad just made him give it up to the corner three that ended up short for them. But it was like I was just like, this guy doesn't give up. He was pushing his way to the basket. He had a block on Phylon. He blocked him at the end of the third. I think just great timing. He had 3 fouls, but I think that just goes along with the physicality a little bit more.
Yeah.
And guys, we were kind of in this. It's like, we didn't talk about this, but they have the free throw rule where and I like it for G League because it speeds the game up. I thought I would like it. I like it a little bit. I'm also just like, just give them the full
I didn't
chance.
even notice it, to be honest.
Right. Well, I did when we missed 3 free throws in a row, and it ended up being like 1 on a 3 and 2 on like that was like 10. I was like, if we had made our one free throw, we would be in it. And like, you want guys to just make their free throws regardless. But I think if you have a 3-point shot and you miss the free throw, and then you just get 0 out of 3, I don't think that's fair. But I get why they do it to speed it up. Like, we could have really won this game if like for him, for example, he was 1 of 3 from free throws, but that would have been 4 more points the way it's. But as long as they've never introduced it in the NBA, it's like, go. That's not what's slowing the game down. It's the refs' silly whistles and the challenges and all that things. But
Cade made a good point. Like, sometimes you see things that go through these like trial runs, they end up sticking. So I'm hoping that's not the case with this. I don't want to see this.
I think it's fine, again, in the summer league when you want to see guys, like, if a guy's a bad free throw shooter, that will be on his stat line, everything. He can work on it. But you want to take advantage of all the time and see what they can do in other ways. But anyways, didn't love that. I was just noticing that as I was going through his stats. But I really liked him. I don't know if you guys noticed him as well. He was fun. And I just also want to shout out who led our rebounds. Not a huge offensive show out, but Bryce Williams, who we've seen before, I think played in a couple games with us towards the end of the season. He led the team in 8 rebounds. So I wonder
Bryce
if
Williams?
Yes.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So he led the team. That's the second most of the game, actually. Their Broom, the guy with the
8.
So I just want to shout him out as well because he was a starter. Had a bad shooting night, 1 of 5, but overall, and 4 turnovers. But he did grab boards, so just have when you grab 8 boards and everyone else grabs under 4, just shout you out. So,
it's more of the game than just scoring. We know that. Lastly, PD Mac, we get out of here. PD Mac says, "Can we give Drake Allen 3 to 5 minutes of conversation?" I don't know about 3 to 5. I watched him a little bit. I don't know if I have that much. He said he fits with defensively and intensively wise. Him and Ron will shut down any backcourt. Any thoughts on Drake Allen? I honestly did not pay enough attention to him. If you guys,
I think he forced a turnover on Phylon, great defense, but even they mentioned it, bad offense, and that's just not what we're looking for right now. We're looking for better. We're looking for better offense and at least 2-way. And I'm not saying I think that he can improve on that, but even they mentioned like his field goal percentage isn't great. I just don't see him. Hopefully in summer league, he gets some more minutes and we can figure that out. Cause I do agree that he did great in terms of that. I mean, he also did have 4 assists, which ties Okorie for the most. So, but and there's only 1 of 2. Okay. So I can't judge him too much. I was just listening to what the announcers were saying, but great defense. But I
didn't notice his defense.
Because we do have great, like Ron, like, we can't bring in another guy that we're like, you are so important to this team because of your defense, like Ausar, like Ron, and then be like, and then, like there's only so many guys that we can hope improve their shooting. And so I just
agree.
don't,
Well
so
said.
I don't think Allen will be on our team, but I do think he could find a spot in the league, in a G League team somewhere. I don't see him sticking with us, to be honest, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you mentioned, you never know what could happen. Eventually some guys progress differently with their shot, things like that. So who knows? But I think I'm gonna pay more attention to him going forward, PD. Now that you've asked a question. So I'll pay more attention to Drake Allen for sure. Anything else you want to get? Yeah, this is interesting, real quick.
right.
It just changes the whole dynamic of the game. With the hack-a-mitch that we see now.
Yes.
How is that gonna look now with one free throw?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a double-edged sword.
It's
It can go
not
either
coming
way.
to the NBA anytime soon, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because free throws right now are such a strategy. You
Yes.
foul guys, you foul it to prevent them from making threes, to prevent them from making twos. It would change games a little bit,
Yeah.
but the strategy of it sometimes is the best. I mean, even Nuggets, Pistons, what I thought of how questionable foul calls on Murray to get him to the line a few times, and he missed on his own. But if he had made the first one and then they just won when we were up by 2, and then they decide like that, also gives the refs too much power for me. Like, actually, that was a foul, even though it wasn't. Like kind of stuff. But that wasn't a foul, and because teams are now trying to get fouled behind the 3 because they know they only make one.
Only gotta make one.
Yeah.
I already feel like there's too much attention on the officiating. I don't want to put
Go
more
back to the
on the
flopping.
officiating.
Let's properly introduce the flopping tech that you guys promised us a few years ago.
Yeah, facts.
And then let's work on the rules that we haven't even enforced yet, but that are there. So.
Agreed. Well said, boss. I 100% agree with that for sure. All right, guys, that is all we have, man. So we will leave it there. But overall, we liked what we saw overall. As far as the next game for the Pistons, the next game they have coming up is on July 12th. That is this coming Sunday. Man, these afternoon times are killing me, boss. I ain't gonna lie to you, man, with these two.
Well, they're earlier for me, so I can't even catch the one on the 13th because I'll still be at work. So
right. No, that's a fact. That's a fact. Well, we may not be able to do live watches for every game, but we're definitely going to be doing post game like we are right here for every game. So we'll keep you guys posted through social media what the plan is, so you guys know what to expect going forward. But as we always say, we appreciate you guys, man, for showing up, showing out as you guys always do. We look forward to Sunday afternoon when the next game tips off. But on that note, guys, we appreciate you. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you smash that new hype button. Really helps with the algorithm. Y'all know how it goes. And subscribe if you are new as well.
Quick.
What's up?
Real quick, you never addressed the poll.
Oh, my bad. That's my 2 better one. So, so guys, will Ebuka be okay? So will Ebuka be a rotational player next season? Will he be a bench player next season, or a bench depth player next season, or will Ebuka be in the G League? So the results, boss, are as well. First of all, what do you think the chat thinks between those 3 options? Ebuka will be what next season?
I don't know what the chat thinks because it's been 1 game and I think people have mixed feelings. But I personally think as of right now, after game 1 of Summer League, that he's going to be a bench rotational player. Okay.
The chat agrees with you. 71% says he's going to be a rotational player. 24% says he's going to be a bench depth player.
That's the one. That's what I meant. Bench depth.
Okay. Yeah. And 5% says in the G League. I could see him being a bench depth player to start the season, and then being a rotational player by the end of the season. Once he hits that learning curve. Personally,
I think if he sees, I think if this is the consistency that we get from Summer League, this or better, then he absolutely deserves a right for rotation. It's also just game 1, and I'm just, but and it does also. I still think we're still waiting on JD news. There is going to be a move, guys. We're not going into the season like the Chicago Bulls ended the season. We're not going into the season with 8 guards. We have too many people. I think we have too many people. Too many. But so that's gonna, and so I'm just curious to see what else comes in, because I feel like if they do bring in a solid starting 2 for Cade, then that makes things a little bit different. And I'll let you comment on that too, but I also want to say, guys, we also signed Elijah Harkless to a 2-way. Last year, towards the end of the season, I got to go on court for the Nuggets warm-ups, and they were playing the Jazz, and the Jazz were all injured, obviously tanking like crazy. The only reason Jokic played was to keep his stay in the running for MVP and stuff towards the end of the season. but it was just basically their bench. So Harkless was a starter for them. I loved what I saw. Like the minute I saw his name, I knew who it was because I got to see him in a game and I remember the impression I had him. And he's a great perimeter defender. He's a great scorer. He averaged over 25 points and 5 assists in the G League, which is just good. He came into the league later. He's been in the league since 2024, but he's 26. So he came in when he was 23, 24. Okay. But I really like him. So that's just another option that we could potentially have for Cade eventually, especially if he works out in ways that like Danis has worked out for us too, and Tolu in the two-way. But I think you guys are gonna like him. Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. Last things. Comments keep coming. Y'all keep grabbing my attention. Kevin says, "Do y'all think we should have traded up for Yaxel?" Listen, I was on that train. Just because of what we needed. We needed a 4. We got John Collins now at the 4. I think Yaxel will be he'd be a perfect backup 4, I think, for this team. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I like Ebuka. I like the pick. I just feel like for a position of need, but the thing is, Trajan said he was going to draft not off of need, but off of just best player available, BPA. And I think that's what he did. And the thing with this, Kevin, is like you don't know. Like what if you trade? The Pistons gave up 2 second-round picks to move up 4 spots to get Ebuka. You got to give up more, obviously, to go get Yaxel because would he go like 11 or 10 or something like that in the draft?
11.
12. So you're giving up at least probably a first-round pick and then some, right? And then you don't know exactly where he's going to land. So if you give it up and then he gets picked right before your pick, you get nothing. So it would have been hard to know in that situation. Go ahead, boss.
And he's older. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I just told you about Harkless who came into the league older. But I'm just thinking in terms of assets, if we're going to use them for a guy, like I don't know how much steam is left on the train or if you train, if anything like that. But if we're going to have to give up first-round assets to bring in a 2 for Cade right away that's already had, is already used to the league, all that stuff, I'd rather have drafted a 19-year-old that I can mold over the next few years than a guy who's 25 and then it doesn't work for the first year and then he's 26 and then we have to sign him on a 4-year contract and then he's suddenly 30. Like I'm excited about Yaxel. I think the Warriors are a great fit for him. I think he should take Pod's minutes. It'll be a huge – people like to say that Kerr loves Pods a little bit too much, so it'll be a huge test. Yeah, same. But so I think that he can do more. But I think he's also that was just a draft. Who knows where he's gonna end up in a few years? Right. He could be on our team. So, but I do like the Trajan seems to draft him young, and I think it's for reasons like development, especially if we go into next season with Ron Holland, despite him not getting many playoff minutes the last 2 years. I think it's just more about making sure that he's the best he can be at that time. But
I wouldn't have. I feel you. I hear you. I wouldn't have minded it because he would have fit right in at 24 with the rest of his core. Like Tay 24, Ausar 23, JD 22, Ron 21. He's 24. So like I felt like he just could have been right. Because this is for me, and I could be wrong. Where we are in our progression, I feel like we have enough young talent to like develop. Now it's like, okay, let's go to the next level and see what we have. I thought his maturity and experience could have helped in that area, but I see both sides of it too. So
I agree. I just don't think it was worth trading up 10 points with 10 spots for losing assets. So that's kind of where
100% agree with that for sure. But lastly, boss, Cade, Ron, Ausar, and Javonte were all in the building. And was Coach Speaker said. It was just cool to see some of those guys there, like they are every year. Usually JD is there. You know what I'm saying?
Did you hear Ausar's quote?
I did not hear his quote. Okay. Did you get a chance to hear real quick what he said?
He had a little bit of an interview. They asked him, it was kind of weirdly questions because they were like talking about who's gone, and they were like, how do you feel about them being gone? And also, how do you feel about it's just kind of like, I don't know, for Ausar, my little emotional Ausar. I was like, that's kind of a hard blow. He just said that he's gonna miss them and their family, but he's really excited to get the new guys. But his quote at the end was, never count us out because every time you're going to be wrong. And every time you've been wrong. And that's how it is. Even Stan Van Gundy admitted, he's like, nobody thought the Pistons would be a 60-win team last year. And they were. So even if you want to call it a fluke or whatever, like they still did what they did and they got further than they did last year. And now I just don't think you can trust anything that you're feeling right now. Because last offseason, people thought that with Malik gone, we would just stay the same as we were last time.
Agreed.
We got way better.
Great point.
So we just don't know. And you just don't know about other teams too. Like there's been so many
On
super
paper.
teams, right?
Mhm.
Because it's so many
Mhm.
super teams that you're just like, oh yeah, like they're gonna win. It's over for the league. No,
Yeah.
so
And
we'll see.
I like being under the radar. I didn't think it was possible after being the number 1 seed, but with all the moves being made right now, and we
Right.
haven't made a crazy splash, I like flying under the radar and then surprising everybody in the playoffs, as opposed to front running the regular season and then fizzling late. Like I like how Detroit, we kind of always been like that, under the radar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Building a team a certain way, depth, and then
Mhm.
making shrewd moves and then being successful later. So I don't mind it, to be honest with you.
Right.
I ain't mad at all.
Yeah,
So,
and that's just we've never really been a team to make a huge splash with that, and it's because we value our depth, and I think it's because you recognize that players can get injured. Like Giannis
Yeah.
has struggled with injuries lately. What if he went to the Heat and all they've done is surrounded him with? They got rid of some of their young guys that I was excited
TSJ.
about. Yeah,
Jaime's gone. A lot of
Yeah.
guys are gone. Yeah.
so it's
Hero's
you
gone.
just don't know, and that's just kind of where I'm at. Because a lot of people are also like the East is getting way better, and that's what they said last year as well. But you just don't know. You can't predict. We can't predict the future, but we
Yeah.
can't. You expect them to make moves off of like worst case scenario. These teams are all gonna be better than us. You expect
Right.
that, but at the
Right.
same time, no one's in a rush to win except for the teams like the Cavs, like except for Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, Joel Embiid, like some of these older guys that their window is closing. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can have all the fanfare. We trying to
Mhm.
get them dubs. You know what I'm saying? Trying to advance
Mhm.
further than we were last year. So we'll see, guys.
Absolutely.
All right, we got to as many chat comments as we can, as many topics as we can. We are going to get out of here and call it a night. Like we said before, make sure you guys hit that like button, hype button, subscribe if you are new, if you enjoyed the show. And we hope you guys have a great night. And y'all know the drill, man. As always, Detroit versus everybody. We out of here. Peace. See you Sunday.
Welcome to the dog pound. Yeah.
I'm scared of these damn Pistons. I'm very concerned.
Screaming, 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 cheer it. Yeah, I cry loud, cause I said it got now. We off the leash, and we not coming in peace. This is Detroit when we step on the court. Be afraid when you see the motorcade, watch below. When you see us soaring, dealing direct. Pick your poison, all gonna war when Dana's a song. Be afraid. Yeah, I cry loud, cause you know we got now. We off the leash and we not coming in peace. This is Detroit when we step on the car. Be afraid when you see the motorcade, watch below. When you see us soaring, sailing direct. Pick your poison, all gonna war with them Highlander songs. Be afraid. It's the dog pound.